So I hope that was fun. Now we're gonna move on to the next example of number patterns, right? Now suppose I give you the following, right? Suppose I give you 1, 4, 9, 16. um First of all, what type of number pattern is this? Is it a linear, or is it a geometric, or is it a quadratic, or it's a special one? Remember, a linear has a constant first difference, a geometric a constant ratio, a quadratic a constant second difference. A special does not have a constant ratio or constant difference. So now, how do we get to know what type of pattern is this? Now remember what I said, right? Or rather, you can also go to my previous video on this, and then you can be able to check for yourself, right? Or rather, to refresh your memory. So remember, here, this is the first term. Okay, remember, these are the terms. These ones that are in that row that you will be given in the exam, these are your terms. And the position, to say this is the first term, this is the second term, this is the third term, and this is the fourth term. Remember, that is, we're talking about position. Okay, and then we say the symbol for position is n, and then the symbol for terms is tn. All right, now how do we then know? Now remember what we do. We're gonna say, how did I move from this one to that one? Well, this one is the second term, this one is the first term. So I'm gonna say t2 minus t1. So I'm gonna say 4 minus 1. 4 minus 1 gives me what? 3. Okay, that's okay. So it means to move from this one to this one, it's 3. I say 1 plus 3 to get 4. Then I say, how did I move from this one to this one? Well, this is t3, right? It's the third term, so we're gonna say t3 minus t2. So we say 9 minus 4, we get that it is 5. Okay, so it means I added 5. And then we do the same thing. What is 16 minus 9? You're gonna get 7. Okay, so remember, this first row, we call them the first differences. Okay, we call them the what? The first differences. Now, are the first differences the same? No. If they were the same, then it was supposed to be 3, 3, 3, or 5, 5, 5, or 7, 7, 7. So they are not the same. So it means this number pattern does not have a constant first difference. Then we then move further. We don't give up, right? We move further. We say, okay, how about we then say, what is the difference between those first differences? Okay, how do we move from 3 to 5? And then how do we move from 5 to 7? Same thing, you always say right minus left. You see this t2 minus t1, to say 4 minus 1, it's always right minus left. Okay, so I'm gonna say 5 minus 3, it's what? It's 2. 7 minus 5, it's what? It's 2. Right minus left, it's 2. Now these ones, remember, they are called the second differences. Okay, they're called the second differences. Now, are the second differences the same? Yes, they are the same. So it means this pattern has a constant second difference, and if it is like that, it is a quadratic. Now that we know that it is a quadratic, what do? We then go to the general formula for a quadratic. The general formula for a quadratic is Tn is equals to an squared plus bn plus c. Alright, now how do we get a, how do we get b, and how do we get c? That is the question. Well, it's very simple. This is what you do. You are gonna have a structure like this, right? You just write 2a here. Here you just write 3a plus b, and then you just write a plus b plus c. I hate to say it, but you must memorize it, right? So you just have to memorize 2a will be in the second row, in the row for second differences. This one will be in the row for first differences, and then this one will be in the row of the number pattern itself. Then you just put your equal signs, equal signs, equal sign. then you start from the bottom. You say 2a is equal to what? To 2. Then what is a? You divide by 2, divide by 2, your a is equals to 1. Then you now have a. Now you go to this one. 3a plus b is equals to what? 3. You already have a, so you just put a there to say it is 1 plus b is equals to 3. So you're gonna say b is equals to 3 minus 3, which is 0. So your b is equals to 0. Alright? Then you're gonna say a plus b plus c is equals to 1. You write it like it is. A plus b plus c is equals to 1. Remember, your a is 1, your b is 0, and then your c, you don't know it. 1 plus 0 is 1, and then c is equals to 1 minus 1, therefore your c is equals to 0. Now you now know the value of a, b, and c. Then you just plug into that formula. You just say Tn is equals to, instead of writing a, I'm going to write 1 plus, instead of writing b, I'm going to write 0 plus, instead of writing c, I'm going to write 0. So therefore my Tn will be equal to, what is 1 times n squared? 1 times anything, it is that thing. And then what is 0 times n? It's 0, because 0 times anything is 0. And then plus 0. So therefore, let's remove this. And then you say, therefore, Tn is equals to n squared. This is the general term for this quadratic number pattern. In the following video, in the future videos, or rather in the videos that are going to follow, we'll then be using that general term to do some heavy calculations. For now, I just want you to know how to get them, and then how to know what pattern is which. All right. Now, suppose you are given this number pattern. What type of number pattern is this? Is it a linear, a quadratic, a geometric, or a special sequence, or a special number pattern? Well, remember the rule. We always say right minus left on numbers that are following each other. So you're gonna say negative 7 minus 0. What is negative 7 minus 0? Well, you can actually write it. Well, this is the second term, right? It's t2 minus t1. So we're gonna say negative 7 minus 0. Negative 7 minus 0 is negative 7. So here we're gonna have negative 7. Okay, then you say what is negative 20 minus negative 7, or rather t3 minus t2. Okay, t3 minus t2, you're gonna say negative 20 minus negative 7. Then you put it in your calculator, you should get negative 13. Alright, so it will be negative 13 here. Right, that will be negative 13. Then you say right minus left. What is this? Is t1 2 3 4. This is t4, right? You're gonna say t4 minus t3. So you're gonna have negative 39 minus negative 20. Okay, so negative 39 minus negative 20 will give you negative 19. Then you write it here. Now remember, these are the first differences, right? So are the first differences the same? No. Then it means remember, we have linear, we have quadratic, we have geometric, then we have special. It means this one here, it is not a linear, because these first differences are not the same. Now we try and see if it is, we go further. We then say, we go to the row of second differences. We say right minus left. So we're going to say negative 13 minus negative 7. Okay, negative 13 minus negative 7. Then you're going to get negative 6. Then you go here. What is negative 19 minus negative 13? So we're going to say negative 19 minus negative 13. You get negative 6. Are the second differences the same? Yes. So it means it is a constant second difference, right? And if it is like that, it means it's a quadratic. It's not a geometric. It's not that one. Okay, Now that we know that it is quadratic, remember for quadratic, Tn is equals to an squared plus bn plus c. Alright, now remember, how do we find a, b, and c? Now I said to you, you just do the following. You're just gonna write 2a here, then you're gonna write 3a plus b here, then you're gonna write a plus b plus c. Okay, of course in your book you are gonna have this structure. Okay, you must be having it, you must write it when it's always a format question. All right, so to find a, you're just gonna start with the first one at the bottom. You're gonna say 2a is equals to negative 6, so therefore you divide by 2, your a will be negative 3. Then you're gonna say 3a plus b is equals to negative 7. Your a is negative 3, so I'm gonna say 3 into negative 3 plus b is equals to negative 7, which is negative 9 plus b is equals to negative 7. So your b will be negative 7 plus 9, because it changes sign when it goes to the right. So your b will be what? Will be 2. Okay, then you're gonna say a plus b plus c is equals to 0. As you see there, you just copy it exactly the way it is, right? And you always take the first ones, okay? So you're gonna say my a is negative 3. What is your b? B is 2. And then what is your c? You do not know. What is negative 3 plus 2? It's negative 1, right? So then you take that negative 1 to that side, become positive. Therefore you just plug in now. Instead of writing a, I'm gonna write negative 3. I have negative 3n squared. And instead of writing b, I'm gonna write 2. So I have 2n. Instead of writing c, I'm gonna write 1. Then this is the general term of that quadratic number pattern. Alright, see you in the next one. Maybe we might come across a geometric or a special one, right? You never know. So stay tuned in the next video as we unpack number patterns.